Good morning. Welcome to this morning's service. I hope you're enjoying a beautiful Sunday morning. Uh, we'll begin this morning's service with Sambujo. The okyo will be Sambutsuge. If you please join us now in the reading of Sambujo and Sambutsuge. Thank you. Namanda, namanda, namandas, namanda, namanda, namanda. 三昧地へにとくむりょ主書慶を人内前年諸仏法界無人人の苦悩内体無明欲ぬ世相 Namanda, Namanda, Namandas, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
Okay, please join me in Gassho. Now let us read Three Treasures. How is it to be born into human life? Now are you living it? Difficult is it to hear the teaching of the first one? Now I hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be free from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we all together absorb in ourselves the principle, your way of enlightenment, an awakening in itself of supreme will. I take refuge in Dhamma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Thy doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in the true accord in your way of life affirming, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, how is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine? Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, good morning everyone. So thank you for joining our morning service. So at the beginning of my Dhamma talk, I'd like to share the Wasan written by Shinran Shonin. So please join me in Gassho again. When we say Namo Amida Butsu, the countless Buddha throughout the 10 quarters, surrounding us 100-fold and 1,000-fold, rejoice in and protects us. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. So since this quarantine has begun, I have had the morning routine on weekdays. That is a morning service with Lotus Preschool kids on Zoom. They invite Rinban and me to their morning class, and we conduct a morning service together. I really appreciate that kids and parents and teachers can join the service on Zoom, even if we cannot see them in person. So after reading Golden Chain with everyone, so we sing the song. We always sing the Japanese hand play song with them. So maybe we don't know the meaning of they don't know the meaning of the lyrics, but they seem to really enjoy it. And we put our hands together in Gassho and say Namo Amida Butsu. Although some kids still were sometimes eating breakfast, or others seem to be still sleepy, kids always try to follow us. That is our morning service. It is really simple, but I'm really happy that I can see them on Zoom. After service, teachers show kids videos to help them understand different cultures, animals, and things that are new to them. The theme is different from day by day, but it's actually so much fun to watch them, even for adults. One morning, teacher showed them a video about how to tie shoelaces. This was not only about the shoelaces. They were learning how to fasten the buttons and how to zip up their clothes that morning. They learned how to do these things by singing songs. Some children still seem to have difficulty in tying shoelaces by themselves, and shoelaces are sometimes tangled. But the children were trying to learn it and to do it by themselves with their parents' assistance. I was so impressed to see that kids were trying to learn hard or difficult new things. For us adults, We take it for granted that we can tie our shoelaces by ourselves. But come to think of it, not everyone knew how to tie shoelaces or how to fasten their buttons at first. Although I don't remember, maybe my preschool teachers and my parents taught me how to tie my shoelaces. And I must also have learned and practiced this like they were doing now. I think it took longer for me to learn how to tie shoelaces than other kids since I'm really clumsy still. I realized that it took many people working hard and supporting us to be able to acquire the things that we can do so simply now. We now take it granted to put our hands together when we join services and when we appreciate Buddha in front of the statue of Amida Buddha. But when and how did you learn to do so? And who told you how to do so? We Jodo Shinshu followers understand Amida Buddha nurtures us to appreciate the teaching by putting our hands together. We voluntarily take this action, but that means Amida Buddha guides us to do so. Maybe it is a little hard for you to understand that Amida's guidance make you put your hands together and appreciate the teaching, because we haven't seen Buddha in person and Amida hasn't told us to do so directly. Maybe many of you could say that people around you, such as your parents, grandparents, and friends, told you how to behave at the temple. Yes, it is understandable, but we can say that it is also nourishment from Amida Buddha. Our founder Shinran Shonin states about it in his main writing, Kyogyo Shinsho, as follows. It is like a magnet, for it draws itself the virtues originating from the primal vow. Shinran Shonin compares the Amida Buddha's virtues as the characteristics of magnets here. It is interesting metaphor, so please imagine that I have magnets and iron, such as paper clips. What happened to them? As you know, it is obvious that paper clips stick to magnet because the magnet has a force to attract the iron. Even if the iron is rusty, bended, and broken, the magnet still attracts the iron. The forms in iron doesn't matter to the magnet. And the interesting thing is that, as you know, the paper clips stuck on the magnets attracts the other paper clips. The other paper clips also attract more paper clips, just like the chain. I loved to play with the magnet when I was a child. So at one glance, this may seem that the paper clips just stick to other paper clips. But actually, this is because magnet works on the paper clips and attracts all of them. When we reflect upon how we started coming to temple and pulling our hands together through this metaphor, maybe you can be compared to one of the paper clips here. And people who blow to here might be like the other paper clips. However, the people who guided you to Buddhism have been guided by the people around them. Reflecting back on the root of my experience, it's clear that it originally came from Amida Buddha to my grandparents and my parents and to us, just like the magnets attracts iron. Then, what will be the force of the magnet in this case? I can say that Namo Amida Butsu, we chant, and here is a magnet which attracts each of us. Namo Amida Butsu is Amida's great compassionate calling, which includes Amida's wish to make us awaken to the truth of life. Namo Amida Butsu is a message from Amida Buddha saying, come and just rely on Amida. This calling to guide us to Buddhahood shines from our precious ancestors' lives, and now we are fortunate to be able to follow them. We still constantly lead our lives to this meaningful way of living, to be born in the Pure Land. No matter how ungainly we have lived our lives, even if we have hurt many people and we have ignored the suffering people, Amida never abandons anyone and always saying, "Come as you are, take refuge in this Amida." Just like the magnet attracts any forms of iron equally. Now Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, comes out of our mouth, which is amazing. Because we couldn't originally recite Nembutsu by ourselves. That means Amida gave us a big change in our lives, just like a magnet transmitted its force to simple and plain paper clips. This big change we had in our lives originated in the nourishment of Amida Buddha, which can be appreciated as other power. We have a specific word in Japanese to express a gratitude to someone or something working behind us, supporting us, which is okage-sama. Okage-sama, which means thanks to all the causal conditions. Okage-sama can be divided into three parts. O, kage, sama. O is a prefix, and sama is the suffix to make the word polite. Kage originally means shadow. When we live a daily life, we don't realize that we have shadows. It is not very remarkable, but it is part of a life, part of us. Just like it, kage means someone working behind the scene to make it possible here. Our ancestors added o and sama to kage, which made us to express big appreciation. So okage-sama indicates that our awareness that where we are now is due to the efforts and support of others. Reflect upon our life. There are many okage-sama in our lives. Maybe some are our loved one who shared many precious memories with us. There is always Amida Buddha who tries to guide us to Buddhahood behind those who appreciate Nembutsu in their lives. Amida Buddha embraces each of us with great compassion at this moment, and always stays by our sides saying, "I'm here for you." And as in the Wasan I read in the beginning of the Dhamma talk, when we say Namo Amida Butsu, Amida Buddha is of course there, but also the countless Buddhas who our loved ones were born into are always by our sides, surrounding us in hundredfolds and thousandfold, rejoicing in and protecting us. Thank you. So please join in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sensei. When we think of Okage-sama, all of the causes and conditions that make our lives possible, that in that phrase acknowledges these conditions, and especially the assurance of Amida Buddha that embraces all beings, that profound compassion that Sensei speaks of, but not only pointing out or talking about, but living that life of understanding, appreciating the compassion of Amida Buddha. Thank you for joining us again for this morning's service. Over the summer, our schedule is not going to change very much, but come September, we're beginning to plan for how we will present these services with a Dharma school service at 9:30 and at 10 o'clock, not at 10:10, although we might go to 10:10 just so that we don't lose track, but to have both a Dharma school service and after the Dharma school service have students go to a class and following the Dharma school service have an adult English service. So it will be hopefully something that is familiar to what we have been doing in the past, but it will all, of course, be taking place in our homes, both coming to the temple, but also having our classrooms in through our virtual communication. But as we plan for the coming year, there's still another month. I know Steve Solokubo has already scheduled a Dharma school teachers meeting to begin planning for the new school year. We've completed both our Obon at home and our Obon services. Last week and Saturday was supposed to be our annual cemetery cleanup, where couple hundred scouts and their parents and leaders go to Oak Hill Cemetery and to clean the cemetery. But this year, of course, because of COVID-19, we were unable to do that. But we've managed to complete both our Obon at home and our Hatsubon and Obon service. I think we were able to enjoy our Obon at home because of the hard work of many individuals, but especially Mas Nishimura, who initiated this project, who brought together a team of individuals whose expertise and enthusiasm really made that Obon at home possible. I want to thank everyone for their contributions to this project, not only those who organized and worked at making the technology work and organizing the activities around Obon at home, but to you as well who participated. The Obon at home through social media reached somewhere around 13,000 individuals. As you know, if you go to our site, the GoFundMe project that was initiated by Janice Oda has been very successful. We have several large contributions that have made that possible, but as well as all the individuals who participated in that GoFundMe project that has relieved some of the concern of how we would continue to operate here at the temple. But again, through the work of so many individuals, selfless contributions of people like Mas who make our ability to present the Dharma possible. Thank you to all of you. It is really okage-sama de, as Mikame Sensei has pointed out, so many people are coming together. The compassion that is expressed through that work. We are all able to enjoy the Dharma. So again, thank you very much for your presence here this morning. We will see you again, hopefully, next week. I don't know if you watch Monty Don. It's a British gardening show. Our family watches that regularly. But one of the things that he says is, see you next week, hopefully. But please stay safe, be well. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we will hopefully see you again next week. If you please join Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, everyone.